Listen, friend, however it is that you are perceiving your life to be right now, that is not the truth. It's the story that you've been telling yourself, and stories stick. Now, I know this video may not land for everyone. In fact, it's probably going to go above some people's heads because they would like to stick to the story that they're telling about their life because it's something for them to hold on to and it's something familiar. So if you ride it out all the way to the end of this video, that is because you are wanting a new story and you know that a new story will start to change your life. I had to realize the way I was describing my past, how I described my life, the words I chose to say about my story, it was literally shaping who I was and how I showed up every day. And I didn't even question it. I didn't think nothing about it. I just knew that it didn't feel right after a while. And sometimes we just think that that's how things are, but they're not. They're not. So we're going to get deeper into that. But first, I want to introduce myself to any newbies. What up, friend? Welcome in. All right, come in, sit down. It's great to take notes, all right? So you can keep track of progress. But I am Shania and I am your guide. I am here to help you transform your life. This is where we grow and we embody this new person that we are becoming, okay? And when I say new person, I need you to be aware to this, that this is who you've always been, who you truly are. It's just new to you because it's been suppressed for so long. But we are waking that motherfucker right on up, all right? Thank you for being here. Now, my channel is broken down into 5 key pillars that help transform who you are. And that is, in any order, identity, mindset, environment, actions, and your past, okay? And I get deep into all of these categories because these are the key things that help you design a beautiful life that you deserve. Now, one helpful thing is I do have these categorized in a playlist. So if you want to get deeper into any of these topics, I do urge you to do so. I'm making it as easy as I can for you because I think the easier it is, the better it is to stick to it, because we're all about discipline and consistency around here, big dog. So buckle up and let's embrace the journey. Now, today, this is definitely a mindset video for sure because I want to get inside your brain a little bit. Now, I want you to know that you don't just live your life, you interpret your life, okay? To interpret, you speak and use words to do so. And words heavily shape what you think about yourself and what you think about your current reality. So let's take a look deeper into how negatively interpreting your life has an impact on your life, whether you speak about the past, the present, or the future. And we're going to break this down into 3 key points today, all right? If you are assigning meaning to anything meaningful to you, you are pouring into energetically. And whenever things happen, you have to label them as a specific thing. It has to have a place in your life. It has to have meaning. So you hold on to it. And then you develop a mindset of these things always happen to me because you have taken all these things and put them into this box that you are storing in, we're going to call it your trailer, okay? And you feel like you're not lucky and bad things always happen to you. Why me? Woe is me kind of mindset. And that is a stinker, okay? It's a stinker. We got to get rid of that. 2 people can go through the same exact experience and have 2 different perceptions on it. And one person can be an optimist about that situation and another person could be a pessimist about that situation. And the real about it is the pessimist is going to stay stuck in a 4-cornered box, while the optimistic is free and is able to mold and shape to anything that is coming their way. Which person do you want to be? You can always change your perception about things, okay? That is never closed off, all right? You have free will, and I think this is where you should start applying it. Now, the second thing is your past becomes your identity, meaning the experiences that you have went through in the past are shaping how you show up today. They are heavily tied into the actions that you make Your mindset is heavily tied into that, because before you make a decision and action, your mind and your subconscious is probably egging you on to make that decision for a reason. And that's because it's familiar. And then on top of that, you start to have this mindset of, this is just who I am, and there's nothing that can be done about it. This is me. That is it. There is not a single thing I can change. Like, you don't even have your mind open to the fact that you can change it. And I just need you to know that you absolutely have control over that, because it's not who you are. It's just what you have experienced in your life. It doesn't define you. And then the third thing that I want to bring awareness to, so we can fix it. Now that the two previous things I just mentioned are etch-a-sketched in your brain and in your subconscious, you repeat this narrative on automatic mode, okay? You tell these same stories over and over and over. And once you tell these same stories, they invoke those emotions that you experienced through those stories over and over and over. So now the emotional part is replaying for you as well. You have the same explanations, the same excuses, the same conclusions about that situation. If anyone tries to share anything positive about it, maybe helping you change your mindset, you don't see past that, and you feel like that's exactly who you are. And that's not who you are. We are no longer doing that. That's why you're here, okay? Because if you keep telling the same story, that's exactly what your brain and your subconscious and your nervous system is going to present to you. It's going to be, oh, that's what they think. That's what they feel. That's what they see. That's what they say. Let's double down on that. I'm going to give it to you even more. I'm going to feed you more stuff to make this feel like this is absolutely real. And it's like you're pouring gasoline onto a fire that no longer needs gasoline. Like, at some point it's going to be uncontainable. And that's going to pour into how your everyday life is right now in this moment. So let's reframe how you think about this, so that way it no longer presents itself in a way where you need to tell the story over and over and over and over and over again, because that is going to keep you exactly where you're at. You do not need a new life. You need a new narrative. You need a new story to tell. Okay? Your narrative shapes your behavior. You are the main character in your life. And the main character always has a narrative. The good guy or the bad guy. The sad little wimpy can't defend themselves, or the person who is conquering everything, every challenge. So what you believe about yourself, let me say this a little bit slower. What you believe about yourself is directly tied to how you act. If your story is, I struggle through life, you're gonna struggle through life. If your story is, I'm lonely and nobody likes me, your life is gonna be lonely and nobody's gonna like you. If your story is, I'm a great person and everyone loves me, your life will be that you are a great person and everyone loves you. If your story is, I am confident and I can overcome any challenge that comes my way, you're gonna be confident and you're gonna overcome every challenge that comes your way. Are you getting me? Okay. I know it's sitting on somebody right now. Thank you. You can choose a different meaning to everything, and you do not have to attach meaning to everything. It could be the same situation, but a different interpretation. I am living through this right now. Life repeats itself over, and life is repeating itself for me right now in this very moment. And how I choose to respond, how I choose to think about these situations are completely different than the previous years where I went through the same exact things. Okay, this time my story is, I can overcome and conquer anything that comes my way, and so can you. So instead of saying this is why I can, now you can start saying this is why I will. Okay, This is why I will do different this time. This is why I won't think the same things again. This is why I won't make the same decisions that I did prior to the last time this happened to me. This is why I respond differently this time, okay? You have the free will, you have the choice, and you have the power. It is time to use it. And I need you to understand that this is a little bit deeper than just thinking it, okay, and saying these things out loud, because your nervous system and your subconscious is still going to be wired to that old life. It's still going to be wired to those old decisions. It's still going to be programmed to want to keep you in that loop. So things might feel fake. Things might feel like this isn't it. Things might not show up in the physical world the way you expect them to at the time you want them to. And that's where you got to hold on a little bit tighter. You have to nurture and condition and be consistent a little while longer so that these things stick, okay? That's where people don't make it to the end of the video. That's where people don't make it to that point in their life that is very pivotal, okay? That's going to change everything because they don't see physical results. Remember, lead by faith and not by sight. If it doesn't feel natural, if it doesn't feel comfortable, that's because it's something you don't know yet. In fact, it means you're on the right track, and all you have to do is get familiar with it. That's it. That's it. Now it's time for homework, okay? Because I enjoyed talking about this one, okay? I don't know if you could tell, but it's time for homework, and I'm excited for this homework because this homework is going to be very gentle. So let me hold your hand real quick. It's going to be all right, okay? This is going to be the narrative shift practice. We are shifting that narrative. We're going to slowly nudge our mindset in the right direction. So step one, when you start to think about, that old story, or you want to talk about that old emotion, or you want to revisit that old thought, catch it. Catch it. It's okay. Catch it. Have a moment with yourself. Like realistically, because let me tell you, when it's me, I'll be like, Shania, nope, come on back. Let's go. All right. I don't care if I'm in a room full of people. I mentally do that. Okay. Sometimes people see me talking to myself and I don't give a damn because I need to be my own friend. And in doing that, I talk to myself. I hang with myself. I enjoy myself. You know what I mean? I nurture myself. And I need you to do that too. So go on, catch it. Catch it before it starts to spiral. And then you question it. You ask yourself, is this who I am right now? Is this who I want to be? Is this going to help me? Does this push me forward? Does this make me feel good? Is it true? Or is it a lie? Is it something my brain has come up with to get me to stay in this little comfortable place that I do not want to be in? And then you rewrite it by saying something different, by thinking something different, by doing something different, by responding differently. Okay, I don't want to feel like I'm yelling at y'all, but I need you to get this down pat because you have a beautiful life in you and I see it and I know you need this push. All right. So for instance, if you feel like you've always struggled with money, that is the old narrative. You no longer struggle with money anymore. The new story, I'm learning how to manage my money. Learning is a great way to pivot your mind into a better space. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm starting to make decisions in a new mindset. I am currently in the growth process of doing something new. Speak it as if you are walking into it, okay? That is the best way to really adapt into an affirmation is you speak it like you're walking into it. Because you don't want to lie to yourself and say, I am, when that's not how you truly feel. But if you are someone who wants to learn how to ride a bicycle, when people ask, do you know how to ride a bike? You say, I'm learning how to ride a bike. You don't have to say no. And eventually, as you learn how to ride a bicycle, you're going to be a person who knows how to ride a bicycle because you took the time to learn how to ride a bicycle. So I just want to leave you with this because I love a food for thought. But some of you are really holding on to this old story because you think that it is going to be the story that pushes you, and it's really holding you back. And there's no need to hold on to that story. The story that needs to push you is the story of your success, the story of your growth, the story of you being in the place that you would like to be. That is your vessel. Now, if this is a life that you are wanting to embark on, listen, we hold ourselves accountable, and I like to hold you accountable as well. I need you to subscribe because this needs to be in your algorithm so that way you are surrounded by someone who cares, by someone who is interested in your story, your new story, by someone who wants to see you grow. Okay, this is a space for you to become exactly who you are destined to be, who you have always been. Just been suppressing them. And now I need you to go fly like a bird. So I need you to keep going. I need you to keep growing. And don't forget to keep glowing. Okay? Peace.